Thank you for the opportunity again, Leslie. I appreciate it. And I'm right here today with Chris from SportsIcon. How you feeling today, Chris?
I'm feeling good, Jimmy. The sun is out in the UK for the first time in about 6 months, so it's about 15 degrees here. Before this
6 months?
yeah, man, it's really grey and dark here. So you know, for
Yeah.
winter, there's hardly any sun. So before this interview, I spent 10 minutes sitting in my garden with a nice cup of tea, just being very English.
Yes, I just got back from Florida, and it's crazy.
Nice.
That's the Sunshine State, and it's the first time that the sun came out. I'm back in the Chicagoland area. It's the first time the sun came out in 3 days. But you just said 6 months, so that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
We
But
need to get to Florida, man. I've got my US visa now. I've got my eye on Miami for year-round sun. So yeah.
Yes, that's good news. So we could just go ahead and dive into the interview. One of the first things I want to ask, like, what came about with SportsIcon? Like, talk about the development of the company and like the founding year and what went into developing such a prestige company today.
So it was way back in August, actually June 2020, when I had the idea.
Yes.
So SportsIcon is basically a new type of Web3 sports brand. So there's three things that we do. You know, number one is we just rolled out the Sports MetaVerse. So that's a place for all of
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. You know, there's been a lot of buzz around it. So you know, it's a place for all of the brands, athletes, teams to be in the metaverse together. You can buy land there, you can build out experiences, you can interact with your favorite sports stars, you can do NFT trading. The public land sale is happening in June, so we're really excited about that. We've also got an NFT platform, sportsicon.com. So any athlete in the world can come, or sports creator, and set up a profile, think Instagram style, and start minting NFTs for the real top, you know, 0.1% icons. You know, people like Lukaku, who we're working with, the Chelsea soccer player. We will produce NFTs for you. You know, we'll get a film crew in. We'll make cinematic quality NFTs. And then the third part of it is the Lion Club PFP, the SportsIcon Lion Club. So if you join the Lion Club, you basically get game-changing experiences. So the Lion Club have talked to Floyd Mayweather. They've got a call with Ronaldinho coming up. They had a call with Figo, who's a massive soccer star. Baron Davis, basketball guy. They've also had tickets to Super Bowl, to a box in Madison Square Garden. And essentially, this all came back to, after I sold my second company, I was really interested in NFTs. I'd started reading the blog posts of Fred Wilson, who's a VC over at Union Square Ventures. So I started playing around with crypto kitties, and I've always been a massive sports fan. I love football, proper football, soccer, and then you know, massive cricket fan. So it's sort of, you know, bringing together my two loves really. So sports and NFTs. And so we launched, incorporated the company August 2020, raised money from people like Nas, the rapper turned investor, Roham, the founder of Dapper, Chad Hurley, the founder of YouTube, Andrew Bogut, who used to play for the Warriors. And yeah, it's just been a crazy ride ever since.
Oh yes, that's a good story, man. And I read a lot of that in the research. And it's crazy because I checked out you guys' NFT collection. And I seen something with Michael Vick in there. I seen the NFT on Michael Vick. And it's crazy because I'm big on sports as well, man. My moment into sports was when the Chicago Bears went to the Super Bowl. I was walking in a friend of the family's house, and Devin Hester, that was a kick return specialist, future Hall of Famer. But he ran the kick return like as soon as I walked in the door, he ran the return back. I thought we were gonna win the game, and ever since then, I've been like big on football here. Then like one of my earliest inspirations for football was Michael Vick, you know. And I played football for like a good 4 to 5 years out of my life. And it's just crazy how everything comes full circle, you know, in different types of environments, whether it's in the physical, whether it's digital, you know. And to see that you got a Michael Vick NFT collection is amazing, you know. So just for me personally, I appreciate something like that. But talk about like what can like collectors of these type of NFTs, what can they gather from it? Like how can they benefit from these things?
Yeah, so every athlete is different. You know, every athlete's got a different creative approach from us. So with Vic, obviously, you know, he's got a compelling life story. A lot's happened, lots of ups, lots of downs,
Definitely.
you know, and he's got lots of skills to share. You know, he
Definitely.
sort of reinvented the quarterback position. So what we did with him, we had 2 days filming down in Miami, actually. First day, he told his story. You know, what's he learned from all of the stuff he's been through? What was it like growing up? Talked about his history. Second day, we got him to share his skills. You know, how he thinks about the game. He ran through play-by-plays, all
Hmm.
beautifully shot and cinematic quality content, and then we broke that down into NFTs. And actually, Jimmy, you're in luck because we haven't released them yet. So we'll
Oh
probably
yeah.
release them in June, man. So
Okay, so everything is coming in June with that.
Absolutely. For Lukaku, we've done something similar. We got the 2 days in the diary, told his story, but we've also volumetrically captured him. That means basically we do a 3D sort of, we get all the cameras, 3D scan of him, and then we reproduce him in the metaverse. So in the
Yeah.
sports metaverse, you're going to be able to go in, talk to Lukaku. He's going to coach you on how to take penalties in the metaverse. So we think, we think the sky's the limit. Imagine just being in the metaverse and you walk around and, maybe we can get Vic in there, Lukaku is in there, maybe another soccer player's in there, maybe another
Right.
football player's in there, maybe stadiums in there. So, that's a key point about NFTs. They're sort of a key building block for this metaverse that we're building. And then, what we want to do as well is just decentralize and give opportunity to every single athlete. So any athlete in the world, whether it's an Olympic person or just a guy who's a good high school football player, they can set up their own profile and start minting NFTs to their audience. So we want to put the power in their hands, really.
So that's great news. So like how can the athlete change their life off becoming an NFT collectible? Like, how can their lives change? They seen so many highs in their careers. Like, we talk about athletes who had Hall of Fame careers, like great careers. Now they're channeling into something new. Because for a long time, it was a big gray area of life after sports, like a
Yeah.
long time. So it was like, what was next for an athlete once their moment is done, whether they put in 10 years in the game, 5 years, 15, however long we're talking. So how can this change their lives for the next step after sports, and even if they're still in current sports?
I think it's a tool. You see NFTs as a tool to build a community around your own brand. So I think what happens with athletes, they strive, they really try and become the big star. They become the big star. They might have 5 years in the spotlight, and then like that, they've sort of retired. And obviously they get paid well in most sports, but a lot of these guys are retiring in their early 30s. So
Right.
it's sort of gone, and a lot of the revenue that they generate and a lot of the IP is owned by the teams or the leagues. So what we enable them to do is, take what's in here, take all of the stories, take all of the learning, and turn that into NFTs and use that as a basis to build a community around you. So if you do the drop right, if you're in it for the right reasons, if you willing to put in the time, so for example, Lukaku is going to be on Zoom calls with his community. He's going to welcome people to the Chelsea training ground. We're going to give a lot of additional stuff, tickets to his games for Belgium, tickets to his games for Chelsea. If you can do that, you can build a community of thousands and thousands of people around you, and and that's yours. Nobody can take that away from you. The club can't take that away from you. The league can't take that away from
Definitely.
you. That's yours to build for the rest of your life, really. So we think that's a really powerful prospect.
Oh yes, it's definitely power in that, And one thing I can say is kind of this NFT metaverse, sports metaverse thing, because my introduction to the metaverse was the Brooklyn Nets. They
Oh
showed
yeah.
the sports arena, the Barclays arena that they play in, and they showed like how a live game would be watching it as a fan. So this is something that can draw interest to professional athletes, and like you said, so a lot of athletes did retire early, and this is something that can, we talking about contact sports. So this is something that could probably save them in the physical, and something that can lead them to financial growth over the years after sports. So like, how do you carry the responsibility of the next chapter of someone's career? Like, how do you carry that?
Yeah, I think it definitely is a big responsibility, and the athletes that I've spoken to are really willing to engage. I mean, my vision vision for it is, something like the Brooklyn Nets arena.
Hmm.
Imagine going to the game, or imagine attending the game with like five of your friends in the best box in that
Right.
arena. But in fact, three of your friends are at home with XR glasses, and two of them are actually there, and you're sort of sitting there, and it's so seamless that you can't tell who's at home and who's in the stadium. That's about bringing people together. That's about bringing, you could bring people all around the world together to watch that game together. At the moment, you're limited by, you've got to be within an hour of that stadium. When you put it in the metaverse, you could be watching with people all around the world. Say if I moved to the US, I could watch it with my mates in England. So I think that's where it's all headed. It's all about XR and sort of in enhancing that experience in the metaverse.
Yes, most definitely. And it draws instant connection, and for a long time with social media, we've been able to contact each other within seconds. We could be on the other side of the world and we could still contact each other like that. But now once you bring in this 3D metaverse, it's like interaction right there. Like we're talking on Zoom, but we're talking about if we were to get in the metaverse together, we could be right there with each other no matter how far, how near, So
We could be
this
watching
is
games together. We could be in the sports bar. We could be doing
mhm,
sports betting. We could be watching boxing together.
yes,
The biggest sports star in the world could be sitting on the next table that doing exactly the same. That's the
exactly.
core of it. That's the exciting prospect of it. So I'm not one of these guys who think the metaverse is going to take over and everyone's going to be hunched in front of their computers all day.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a bonus on what normal viewing is and what normal life is. I think it's going to be in addition rather than taking away anything.
Right. And I feel like it came at the right time with the pandemic, because a lot of things slowed down for us and a lot of us got a chance to try new interests. So for people who don't necessarily know what the metaverse is, like how do you promote the metaverse, and especially with the upcoming metaverse in June 2022, how do you promote that to get more people, like more unique visitors to this metaverse? Like what will you do for continuous promotion?
Well, we tweeted it out yesterday. We tweeted out a promotional video. If you go to SportsIcon on Twitter, you'll see that it's pinned, and it just sort of went crazy. I think we've got thousands of people on the whitelist. So the whitelist is basically the list where you put your
Oh
Ethereum.
yes, I've seen that on the
Yeah,
site.
it's your Ethereum wallet address, and so you're guaranteed to be able to buy one of these when it goes live. It's sort of like joining the queue. I think it's got
Yes.
like 1,000 retweets. It's got thousands of people signed up, so that seems to be going pretty well so far.
Oh yes.
I'm up to LA NFT next week to talk about the sports metaverse. I think our video is going to be played there. I'm on a panel to talk about the future of sports and NFTs. So I'm getting the word out that way. Obviously, we've got PR, we've got podcasts. I think one of the things that I want to achieve is for the sports metaverse to cross the chasm from early adopters to the mainstream, and I think we'll do that by just making really compelling experiences that bring people together and make sure people are having fun. And I think there's nothing more fun in the world than sports. So if we can build
Great.
out sports metaverse, that is a market of billions and billions of people who are looking for connection, who are looking for fun, and are looking for shared experiences built around sport.
Sports are one of the best things to bring people together. I never
Absolutely.
thought I never thought nowhere in my time with sports. 'Cause, I've been following sports as far as writing for about 6 years, and it's just in so much time. I tell people all the time that digital media and everything digital just grows every day. We're talking about things that we didn't see coming about 3-4 years ago. And I remember I spent time with the company in my early sports writing days. It was called Sports Talk. So in the company, it's just like a big social media for your favorite pages, for your favorite athletes, your favorite teams, and you were just on one social media talking about recaps of the games. And I happened to be a ambassador for the brand, and just how things was, and this was like 2016. So just how things was back then compared to now, we're talking about a full sports metaverse that you can just hop in. And just even at my time at Sport Talk, I was able to enjoy the brand and everything that it offered as a fan as well. So how can a fan interaction be brought about upon outside of like going to games and sports bars and gambling and everything together? like what would daily interaction be for sports fans? Like, can we just come up to each other and just
Yeah.
conversate? Can we just share? Like, how what can we expect? Like, avatar? Like, how do these things go?
Yeah, we're talking to a couple of avatar partners at the moment. So some people will choose to have like one of our lion PFPs. Some people will have like a photorealistic faces. That's completely down to you. You can walk up to people and talk to them. If you buy land, you get your own fan cave. It's like
Oh yeah,
it's a sports fan's dream. You've got a pool table in there. You've got a place to display your NFTs. So you can invite people to your fan cave. I think gaming is a really key component to this as well, because it's got to
yes,
be sticky. It's got to be people aren't going to go and I've been in a few of these metaverses. I won't name names. You go there, you're just walking around for miles, and there's not much there. You're walking through fields basically. So I think there needs to be a hook. So whether that's playing a really addictive game with your friends, whether that's going on like a mission in the sports metaverse, but I think it
yeah,
needs to all be sports related. I'm not sure there'll be like a you know. Sort of Dungeons and Dragons style game in there. It all needs to be sports related. Perhaps you're doing missions around the new camp stadium or a soccer stadium, but perhaps you're
oh
completing
yes,
tasks based on American football, so stuff like that. So that's the direction we're going in. We've hired the best team in the business. So people that have worked for Nvidia, people who co-founded Doom, people who are at PlayStation Home, and they're also expert minigame creators. So
yes,
we've got them cooking up quite a few little mini games for the sports metaverse.
yeah,
And also, if you buy land, you can develop whatever you want. The call before this, I was talking to a guy that wants to build a stadium. There's a company that wants to just build the old stadium and bring his audience in. So yeah,
yes.
guys,
That's great. That's great ways to connect everybody. Man, how do you have these people from the creators of Doom, PlayStation Home, and everything? How do you place everybody together to focus on the big picture and something that's like ever expanding, something that will just continue to expand over time? Because in the metaverse, we're talking about this is something that needs interaction like almost 24/7. You need some sort of interaction because this is constant engagement. You got people going in and out of the metaverse all day, every day. But to keep that constant engagement, how do you bring all of these creators together to form the larger picture?
Well, I did a deep dive. I had this sports metaverse idea like a year ago, and then I did a deep dive, talked to loads of people in the space, to find the best people to build it. Really, I also spoke to a load of clubs about what they're looking for in the metaverse. Lots of athletes. Obviously there was an educational piece to that as well. And
Yes.
I think what the clubs and athletes are looking for is a really high quality experience. So some of the metaverses look a little bit blocky. We it's all 8K and 4K in our metaverse, so it's visually really really stunning. So that that's one of our differentiators as well. And yeah, I think it's about like any form of leadership, it's getting people together, giving them a shared vision, giving them a shared mission, and then empowering them to go and deliver on it. That seems to be working okay so far.
Yes, that's good news, and just gathering all of these ideas from different type of people that have different type of experiences. The opportunity is endless.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So how does gaming tie into this? Like, would someone be able to come in and play a physical sports games? Like, do you have, like, will it be contracts with people like EA Sports or 2K developers or anything that allows you to virtually play these games in the future?
Yeah, I mean, there's two methods. So SportsIcon, Sports MetaVerse can either build the games ourselves, but I
Hmm.
think one of the beautiful things about crypto is this is going to be decentralized. If in June you buy a load of land off us, you can build pretty much whatever you want on it. So if the EA come in on the land sale and say, guys, I love this concept, I'm going to buy a huge swathe of land in Sports City, which is our prime real estate right in the middle of the sports metaverse, they're going to be empowered to build whatever they want in it. So they can build it in Unity and drop it in.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be really really easy to do. So yeah, what I want to do is let 1,000 flowers bloom really, and just decentralize it and say, look, this is the number one place for sports in the metaverse. buy your land. We'll give you a fan cave. If you want to knock that fan cave down and build whatever you want, let's do it, as long as it's sports related.
Right. So
Let's go for it.
so how would you, so on the broadcast and journalism tip, if I approach you like, hey, I want to join your sports metaverse and build my own reporting company or
Yeah.
broadcast company, how would you respond to that?
I'd say, where do you want the land? Yeah,
So that's an opportunity I can check out.
definitely. Absolutely. And, we've got startups reaching out to us. We've got individuals reaching out to us. We've got athletes reaching out to us. We've got big corporations. So, I think, that's the thing about getting the prime real estate. You'd probably be next to some really big athletes, really big, really big corporations. But yeah, that's the whole beauty of crypto. You can, it's not centrally planned, it's decentralized. So we're going to empower you. We're going to give you the tools to build whatever you want in our metaverse.
What brings the security of making sure this type of thing is worthwhile, like this thing? Because we're still in the era where iPhones were just developed like what 16 years ago, and we seen how far they took it. So like, what makes the metaverse worthwhile? Like, how can we expect this to be something that lasts, for years?
I think it's a completely new paradigm. You had Web 1 sort of 94, 95 when Netscape was created, up to about 2005 with Facebook, and then Facebook ushered in Web 2. You got these big centralized companies hoovering up loads of data. Web 3 is, crypto enabled, token enabled, NFTs, decentralized. So, I think if we're looking at how long Web 1 was and how long Web 2 was, we've probably got 15 to 20 years of Web 3 now, and and the speed it's going. Who knows where we're going to end up? I certainly know what my vision is for the sports metaverse, and if we can get to that within 5 or 10 years, it's going to be a completely different world.
I agree, and it's just like I said earlier, the opportunities are endless. And how was it unveiling this project for the first time? Because you guys just unveiled it at a conference, correct? A
Yeah,
game developer conference,
that's
GDC.
that's right. So the Dr. Dave Reynard, who's working to build this out, he's part of GDC. He's the ex-head
Yeah.
of Sony Studios in London. So he announced this on a panel. It got picked up some good press. We were a bit nervous yesterday before we tweeted about it. We were like, is anybody going to care? Is anybody going to sign up for this whitelist? Luckily, that the tweet basically went viral. We've had thousands of people sign up for the whitelist, which is great. But yeah, it was like anything in a big build up to an announcement. You think you've done your homework, you think it's all good, but until the traction starts happening, you're unsure. But yeah, it definitely, the launch yesterday definitely exceeded our expectations. So we're really excited for the future.
Yeah, you never know what to expect sometimes when it's out there. Sometimes we hold back on this idea like, oh my gosh, this can go either way. But once it plans out and exceeds expectations, it's like it gives you that boost of confidence. So June 2022, we'll be 6 months into the year. What can, like, once it's launched, what can we expect for the remaining 6 months of the year?
Well, so everyone will have their fan cave. Everyone will be able to interact with the stars we've got in there. We've announced Lukaku. We've got a big UFC fighter to announce soon. We've got loads more brands to announce. So we're going to keep the announcements coming between now and June. Rest of the year, we'll probably raise another round of funding. We've raised 7 million so far. We'll raise another round of funding in the summer, and then we will continue to build out the metaverse. By September, we'll have Lion Lands built out, which is the land that we've created for our PFP project, SportsIcon Lion Club, and we'll have Sports City built out. And yeah, we've got big plans. We've got 7 islands to build out. We've got the release of the SportsIcon.com NFT platform as well, which is all interrelated. We've got some fun stuff in store for the Lion Club as well. We are close to getting World Cup tickets in Qatar. So
Oh yes,
that'll
be
be an
pretty
awesome
cool.
experience with some of our community. So yeah, it should be 2022 should be a big year.
And one thing I want to ask is I know you're into developing this, but like just like as a fan of what you're doing, like what's your biggest expectations of what is the thing that you're most excited about, I would say?
I think it's touching on what I was talking about earlier. It's bringing people together around sport. You know, that's what I get a kick out of. It's, you know, it's not the technology behind NFTs or anything like that. It's just bringing people together around sport. So, you know, we're going to be able to access everybody in the world who's got an internet connection and bring them together in one place just to enjoy sport, be together and enjoy community and have lots of fun.
Yes. So, my last thing before we close out, how can you get people in tune? Like, share any websites, any socials, any more information that can promote this sports metaverse for the time of its release.
Yep, check us out on Twitter at SportsIcon. Check out the Sports MetaVerse website, sportsmetaverse.co. Join the whitelist. To get on the whitelist, you'll need an Ethereum address or a MetaMask address. And yeah, you know, follow us, join our community in Discord. There's always lots of chat in Discord. And yeah, I will see you in the Sports Metaverse in a couple of months.